Nigeria is on our watch list. Israel ambassador wants the contraption. Israel ambassador wants Asada. Israel ambassador wants the lion mentioned in national called Bola Ahmed Tinubu. My brother, who say it go? Yawa wugo, ebelego na mbabu. Mwaze tozienti na kenuzie nketoro biati. You know, the other day they were celebrating and they have gone to Tel Aviv to counter what the Biafran lobbies is doing in the parliament of Israel. Probably they have to go there to dish out some millions of dollars or in pounds. We cannot say allegedly. So they were celebrating on social media, most especially on X, that now Nigeria and Biafra have no any place again to lobby since the Nigerian government have went to Israel, and now they have a kind of established more bilateral ties. You know, dealings on security, provision of some gadgets and whatever to fight terrorism. They don't know that even at that, they will come with your money, no problem, we accept your money, but we must do our mind. Our Ogamazi Chukwu Wike Benjamin Netanyahu, a typical example of I don't want peace, I want problem always. He is uninvited to Fly that will come and visit you when you least expected. Unlike his compatriot Mazi Chinedu Donald J. Trump. You understand me? So now they don't give Nigeria the last one and say on a day for our list, you even if you like sign billions of dollars business ties with us on a day for our list, we must surely get on. And we could hit you on a where on a no go recover. Anyway, let me allow you to listen to this, our brother, the excellent analyst that will give us the do and do's of this message. So please, as you're watching, kindly like, share, comment, and keep subscribing for more interesting videos. More interjection can also come while this message is going on. So please, get to get off, because our reaction is top notch. That was why we always react to the main videos that will give you what you want on a daily basis. Expect more from this channel, Okuta Daily Talk. Oh yeah, let's go there.
Finally, it has been confirmed. The Israel ambassador to Nigeria, Michael Freeman, has confirmed it that Iran is sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. Yes, you have me right. He made this statement in an interview he granted this morning on Arise TV. Today is the 6th day of March 2026. Not only that, he said a lot of things concerning Iran and Nigeria. I'm going to play the video for you. But before I play the video for you, a lot of people have been asking, does it mean that Israel is coming for Nigeria after Iran? God, I beg you. Well, still on that question, if you remember, just about 1 month ago, the Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, he made a press statement concerning the terrorism or the killing of Christians going on in Nigeria. And if you listen to that statement, he kept calling Iran and Nigeria, Iran and Islamic State in Nigeria. I'm very sure most of you have forgotten, but come on, over here, we don't forget. I'm going to play just about 20 seconds of that press statement he made so that you will understand what I'm saying. Please, listen to this.
I see the battle against us and the battle against our Judeo-Christian tradition basically being waged around the globe. And it's waged primarily by two forces, radical Shiite Islam and radical Sunni Islam. That means the axis that is led by Iran, much battered, admittedly, but still there, and the axis, the Sunni axis, led by the Muslim Brotherhood, which permeates everything. They go to Europe, they go to the United States, they go to Africa, Nigeria. And we are conscious of the fact that Christians are being persecuted across the Middle East, in Syria, in Lebanon, in Nigeria, in Turkey, and beyond. And we're also aware of the fact, as you are, that one country protects the Christian community, enables it to grow, defends it, and makes sure that it thrives. And that country is Israel. There is no other. We are joining an effort to have basically a United Nations of countries that support Christian communities around the world, beleaguered communities who deserve our help, just as you are helping us, and we want to help back. And we're capable of doing that. In Africa with Intel, in the Middle East with a lot of means that I won't itemize each one. But this is what our agenda is. It's the main part of our agenda, and it's going to continue with greater force and greater might in this coming year.
Now, you have had him, Iran, Nigeria. No wonder they started from the source. You know, there is this popular saying in Igbo that says, oh yes, if you want to contaminate a stream, just go to the source and contaminate it. Leave it. The rest of the river will be contaminated. And that is exactly what he is doing. He is contaminating these terrorists from the beginning or from the source. Oh yes. So the question everybody is asking now is, are they coming to Nigeria after they are done with Iran? Are they? I'm not going to allow you to listen to this interview that was granted by Michael Freeman. All the things he said concerning Iran and how it affects Nigeria. Right? But before then, quickly, I also want to remind you, if you remember just a couple of days ago, we saw Muslim faithful. They were protesting in support of Iran and they were stepping on Israel and American flag, which is, as I've said it here, is quite provocative, right? Not only that, we've also seen and had threats from these Islamic extremists. Yes, that if US or any of those Christian countries come to Nigeria to do any harm, that is going to do with them. We've had it, I played it here. So all this, when he gets to the Israel Prime Minister, that man know the play now. We know what will happen. But then we keep our fingers crossed that good things will come. Now I'm going to allow you to listen to this interview that he granted, and then after listening to it, you do well to drop your comment in the comment section. Please just pay attention because he said a lot of things in this video.
For 47 years, Iran has had a policy of death to Israel, death to America. Its entire apparatus, its state structure has been sponsoring terrorism, sponsoring organizations around the world to kill Israelis, to kill Jews, to spread terror. And we've seen Iran spreading terror. We've seen them developing a ballistic missile program, and we've seen them develop a nuclear program. And when a country says that they want to destroy you, death to Israel, death to America, and they are trying to build a nuclear weapon, it's absolutely justified. Not only is it justified, it's a moral obligation for a country to take the action that is needed to stop the country, or in this case Iran, who wants to destroy Israel. Iran has said they want to destroy Israel, and Iran is building a nuclear weapon to do that. Cannot allow that to happen. And so this is the most justified war in order to stop these people from developing a weapon in order for them to wipe us off the face of the earth.
Yes, I said my question, Ambassador. I asked you pointedly. Israel has a nuclear weapon. Iran is trying to build one. Is it justified to take away Iran's ability to build a nuclear weapon when Israel has one? If we want truly a nuclear-free world, why can't all of us just drop our nuclear weapons like South Africa stopped their own nuclear weapons program? So you have a nuclear weapon. You don't want Iran to have it. Is it justified what you're doing?
Well, firstly, Israel has never said that we have nuclear weapons. That's your statement. Israel's policy has always been that we won't be the first country to introduce nuclear weapons into the region. But the issue here is not about Israel. The issue here is about Iran. Iran is the only country in the world, in the United Nations, who expressly desires to wipe another country off the face of the earth. Iran has stated its very policy is to destroy Israel, is to wipe Israel off the map, is to make sure they kill every single person. And no regime, no country that has an express desire to destroy Israel, and it's not only an expressed desire. We've seen over 47 years they've taken all the actions they can in order for that to happen. We've seen them sponsor terror organizations. They were behind October the 7th massacre of Hamas. We've seen them sponsoring Hezbollah. We've seen them acting in Europe. We've seen them acting in Australia. We've seen them acting in Nigeria. We've seen these people acting all across the world in order to spread disturbance, for them to try and carry out and their aim of destroying Israel. And Israel will not allow another country to have nuclear weapons when they've expressly stated they want those weapons to destroy Israel.
But Israel is not a saint to themselves, because for all the terror you say Iran has carried out, Israel has also carried out that level of terror. And by one stretch, you've gone ahead to kill the supreme leader in Iran. So Israel is not a saint in all of this. I yield the floor to you.
That's an absurd statement to make. Nigeria is the one. Nigeria has been on the receiving end of terrorism from Iran. We've seen Iran spreading terror throughout the world. Iran sponsors all of the major terror organizations in the world. If we look at Hamas, if we look at Hezbollah, if we look at the Houthis, if we look at the terror groups within Iraq, if we look at some of the other groups around the world, we have seen Iran carry out terror bombings in Argentina, where it blew up the Jewish community there. We've seen them carry out terror attacks in Bulgaria. We've seen them carry out terror attacks in the UK. We've seen them carry out attempted attacks in Australia. This is a country that sponsors terror, that is Revolutionary Guard, is a prescribed terror group across all of Europe and many other countries around the world. It's quite clear that Iran is a nation, is an international sponsor of terror, and to make any other accusation or any other claim is absurd. And I would also add as one sentence, which we kind of forget, that less than 2 months ago, there were millions of people protesting against the Iranian regime, Iranians, who said we're not happy with what's going on in the country. And the Iranian regime's response was to gun them down and to massacre them. And anywhere between 30 and 70,000 Iranians were shot dead for purely saying that they weren't happy with their government. And this is an illegitimate government.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Now, America has stated, well, the president has talked about the aim or what success would look like in this war to bring it to an end. A regime change is top of that agenda. What is Israel looking at from this war? I say this because back to the question around justification, there was no imminent threat or indication of an imminent attack on Israel by Iran. Number two is that there are critics that have said that you don't respond to, potential war with force. You respond with an attack with an attack. What would you have to say about that? Because even within, your country, a lot of people have stated that perhaps it wasn't justified. Yes, you talked about threats being made here and there, but no imminent action or no imminent strike was done by Iran. So Israel made the first move. Is it justified? That's the big question on a number of people's lips.
Well, Israel absolutely did not make the first move. Iran has been making moves for 47 years. For 47 years, they've been sponsoring terrorism. They've been attacking Israel. They have been blowing up Jewish community centers. They've been blowing up embassies. They have been firing missiles. They've been sponsoring terror organizations. They have been attacking people in Bulgaria, in Australia, in the UK. So Iran has been running a campaign of terror and attempting to destroy Israel for 47 years. And their slogan is death to Israel, death to America. When you talked about an imminent threat, well, since during the 12-day war last year, Iran has gone all in on trying to move all of its ballistic missile capacity underground. It has invested in restarting its nuclear program and moving that deep underground. And within a few weeks or months, that program would have been so deep underground that it would have been totally immune from any form of strike or any form of attack. And Iran said that they were building missiles, they were building nuclear weapons in order to attack Israel and to destroy Israel. So there's no question this is justified. But going back to your question about aims, our aims are very clear. Our aims are to ensure that Iran does not have the capability to attack Israel and to wipe Israel off the map, which means we are going to destroy their ballistic missile capability, we are going to destroy their nuclear weapons capability, and we are going to weaken a regime and the structures of regime that have carried out the massacre of 30 to 50,000 innocent Iranians who were protesting in the streets. We will give the opportunity for the Iranian people to make a decision about the future of their country. It's not for us to decide what the leadership will be, it's for the Iranian people to make that decision. But we are going to eliminate the threats to Israel. We are going to eliminate the imminent threats to Israel that was being built by this Iranian regime. And we absolutely will continue to do that until we've achieved our aims.
All right. Well, I mean, some of the real concerns are around sort of the last part of your statement, which is that the Iranians are going to be allowed to choose their leadership. However, the dominant narrative, and we've heard so many comments from President Donald Trump as well, speaking about his preferable candidate, which makes this very clearly foreign-imposed regime change, which of course we know is illegal under international law. So, given the context that in most cases where we've seen specifically U.S. intervention or intervention involving the United States with organizations like NATO, in this instance it's US, Israel, what usually follows after these attacks on the so-called heavy-handed dictatorial regimes is more chaos. So my question to you is, why do you think this will be any different from all of the other hundreds of instances in history? Well, maybe not up to hundreds, but below, tens of instances in history where we've seen foreign intervention with U.S. involvement, military action in the name of trying to remove a regime that is said to be despotic and to be against the people. And then what follows is even more anarchy and leadership that doesn't represent the will of those people, but rather panders to the whims and the interests of the U.S. and its allies. How is this any different?
Well, the current regime in Iran does not represent the people. The people came out and spoke against the regime, and the answer of the regime was to shoot them all, to kill them all, to massacre them, and then to
Mr. Ambassador, if I may just interject, the numbers are disputed because human rights organizations are saying that the numbers being quoted by the United States are inflated, that those were people who were planted. In fact, there are some reports that are saying that those protests were led by proxy, but that the Iranians themselves, who are indoctrinated into this theocracy, support Khamenei and the current leadership, as we saw when they came out to mourn him when news of his death came out.
Well, actually what we saw on television were spontaneous shows of delight and happiness, and Iranians coming out on the street. They were letting off fireworks, they were cheering, they were dancing. We've seen Iranian communities that are really free around the world, all across the world, coming out and supporting this and saying they want a better future. But the issue here again, and this is Iranian propaganda, that no credible organization, no credible human rights or other organization claims that there were less than 30,000 Iranians that were massacred. Everybody accepts that the Iranian regime massacred its people. The exact number no one knows, but the estimate ranges from 30,000 50,000 to 70,000. These were spontaneous protests, and the Iranian regime massacred them. And that's the issue. The issue is that this regime is not only massacring its own people, but we've now seen what it's doing in the region. And you mentioned this on your show earlier. They've fired rockets at Turkey. They've now fired at Azerbaijan. They've fired at Kuwait. They've fired at Saudi Arabia, at Qatar, at the United Arab Emirates. They are fired at Saudi Arabia. This is an Iranian regime that is destabilizing the entire region. Iran is destabilizing, is causing major problems, and that is the reason this Iranian regime is an illegitimate regime that is building weapons of mass destruction, that is building a missile system to terrorize the region. And we've seen they're extending their range of their missiles to Europe now to try and attack Europe and to further places as well. This is a dangerous regime that is spreading instability, that for 47 years its entire raison d'etre has been, according to them, death to America, death to Israel. And therefore the action that's being taken both by America and by Israel in this operation is to make sure that they cannot carry out their death to Israel, death to America.
Okay, I mean, Ambassador, I will not expect you to come here to accept that Israel has nuclear weapons, and I'm giving you the...
Okay, my people, the discussion is more than what we can record one time, but I'm very sure you'll be interested to continue listening to this message. So we will keep you updated as soon as the message is complete, because we are still having the program being recorded and edited and all this kind of thing. Anyway, we're going to read the comment when we come back here to continuation of this video. So please keep up to date and make sure you circulate this message that it go viral. Keep on sharing, please. Keep on sharing. Keep on sharing. The discussion is very, very intelligent, and I would like my people to be part of it. Have a nice day. In fact, catch you next time.